Hey, coach, man, what time is it?
Oh, Slim, you know what time it is. 6 o'clock, straight up and down. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome. Oh, man. We're so glad you are here once more. And again, you done tuned in to HomeSpun Sports. It's Sports Talk. Hey, with just a little twist of down home wisdom. I'm your host, John W. Montgomery II, way back in Southeast Oklahoma. They call me John 2. But my producer, I'm in Houston, but my producer, the man behind the glass, my kinfolk, the last pea in the shell, my baby boy. What's up, Slim? What's up, man? What's up?
How you doing, Coach, man? I'm doing great.
Man, dude, I am so pumped for show number 19. Slim, the term legend is often thrown around loosely. But this brother right here, he is a legend in every sense of the word.
No doubt.
A two-time All-American at the University of Oklahoma, a Heisman Trophy finalist. But Slim, when people look at OU football and the standard that was set there, this guy laid the foundation for that. And so without any further ado, please make welcome the legend, Greg Priuitt.
Coach, I thank you. You know, that sounds so good, I can hear it again.
Greg, man. Greg, I mean, bro, when you played, Greg, and I remember I was in the 10th grade when I first heard of you at Poto High School, Poto, Oklahoma. Greg Priuitt, man, y'all had gone to that wishbone, man. You and Roy Bell and Leon Crosswhite and Joe Wiley. But Greg, you were the star of that, man. And Slim, I'm telling you, when Greg Priuitt touched the ball, 80,000 people could not sit down. I'm gonna tell you what, Slim. He was like Eric B. and Rakim say, make 'em clap to this. Make 'em clap to this. He made them clap to this.
Oh yeah. Man,
what a player, Greg.
Thank you for being on the show, Coach, man. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate it, Frat.
yeah, Q. Yeah. And you know what? See, here's the deal. Your homeboy, former roommate, and teammate at OU, Kenny Pope, recruited Slim when Slim was coming out of Oklahoma City Douglas to Iowa State. When Kenny was an assistant at Iowa State. Yep. So, man.
Very hospitable.
Yeah, man. And we have known Kenny and loved Kenny for over the years. And Greg, Kenny is one of the biggest supporters of our show. So big shout out to KP. But
I talk to him all the time. You know, when I started playing golf, Ken used to always ask me, what did I see in golf? He said, and he would talk about it. He said, you find this ball and you put it on this stick, then you get something, hit it, and then you decide you want the ball back. You go find it, you sit it on the stick again, and you do this like for 3.5 hours. What is the fun in that? So now, you know it. Every time I call him, he's either on his way to the golf course or he's coming back from the golf course. So I called him all and I said, hey man, you still putting them little balls on sticks and hit them, and then you decide you want to go get them? Greg,
you were at the foundation of the for OU football. You were there when the foundation was in the modern era. I ain't talking about that Bud Wilkinson stuff. I'm talking about the modern era of OU football / integration. You were there.
Yeah.
In fact, Greg, you were at the forefront of it. Okay, let's keep it real. Greg, it would be safe to say that the bigotry in the state of Texas, under the direction of the great Darrell Royal, okay? Darrell Royal was not going to recruit that vast wealth of black athlete talent. Barry Switzer was smart enough to capitalize on that. And that laid the foundation for OU football, correct?
That's correct. Well, I'll tell you a little story. When I was in high school, I was a quarterback. I was a quarterback until my senior year. Okay, I had two upperclassmen, Albert Qualls, Lionel Day, who Oklahoma recruited and signed, and he went to play for Oklahoma. Well, they were recruited by the lineman coach when I was there, Bill Michaels. Bill Michaels was head coach at West Texas, small college. But I was a Division II school, small school in Texas. And so that was kind of like his big secret of recruiting kids. So when Oklahoma came on the scene, then everybody else started paying attention to us. But we were dedicated to Coach Michaels because Coach Michaels and my head coach, Wendell Mosley, were real good friends. So they actually put together a deal. Switzer, Wendell Mosley, and lineman coach. So the deal was this. My coach told Bill Michaels that if he wants to keep a relationship with his players at Oklahoma, and he had some good ones. In fact, they had one behind me named Gene Sellers, who All-American, went to UCLA. Okay. He said, you're going to have to take a guy every year. And the only guy we got that's good enough is Greg. Unfortunately, Greg plays quarterback. There were no Division I black quarterbacks, especially at 135 and 5'9". So the deal was to sign me or give me an opportunity, and that's how I got to Oklahoma.
And you could fly. But see, I'm glad you mentioned Bill Michael, because along about that same time, a little bit later, Bill Michael went down to Galveston Ball and signed Kenny Pope's homeboy, Kerry Jackson. Kerry Jackson. Now, Slim, I'm going to tell you something. Kerry Jackson was there with Joe Washington. And when them two got on the field, they were everything at quarterback and at halfback that Greg was. But here's the point. Oh, man, listen, you couldn't keep your seat. But Greg, when you look back at it, Darrell Royal facilitated Barry Switzer's success because of discrimination and racism, just like John McKay facilitated Bear Bryant's success at Alabama. Because Bear, and we've talked about it many times on our show, Slim, that Bear Bryant knew he had to tap into all that black talent that was right there underneath him and all around him at Alabama. And the only way he could do that is bring that highly integrated USC Trojan team in the 1970 to Legion Field. And Bear Bryant took that ass whipping so he could get some black players.
So they could convince everybody else.
Hey, listen. Hey, Billy Brooks, Joe Washington, George Cumbie, Kenny King, Darrell Hunt, Greg Roberts, Billy Sims, Thomas Lott. I mean, that was the foundation that facilitated what happened at OU football, Greg.
Don't leave them Selman brothers out.
Well, but they're from Oklahoma, see? But I'm talking about from Texas.
I know.
From Texas, Greg.
I'm talking about dominating black players. They ain't getting no dominated in themselves, brother. Yeah. But hey, see, they were from Eufaula, Oklahoma. They're my homeboy. Yeah. See, I knew J.C. Watts when he could walk flat foot under my kitchen table. That's how far I go back with them. So, but in Texas, Barry Switzer was smart enough to recognize
that if Darrell Royal, all right, and I've heard Joe Washington say many times about he paid a token visit to the campus of the University of Texas, and Darrell Royal didn't even give him no props. That's okay. That's okay. And he went to OU and never lost to Texas. Greg, during your time at Texas, how many times did the Longhorns beat you?
My sophomore year, but I wasn't starting. I never lost when I started. You know, when I played, you couldn't play as a freshman. And I was switched from wide receiver to running back in the Texas game, but I wasn't a starter. Everett Marshall was the starter. Everett Marshall was from LA, wasn't he? Yeah. California. He was a sprinter. Yep.
But Greg, man, when you brought a swagger. Greg, I never forget this. Please tell the story about how the time you said they interviewed you and you flashed that gold tooth. You still got that gold tooth, Greg?
No, somebody knocked it out. And I would have it, I would have it, but the guy that knocked it out was still standing by.
So they interviewed you, and you said you guys had Colorado, and that's when Colorado was good, Slim. When Colorado was a top 10 team. Y'all had Colorado.
We 1, 2, 3 in the nation that year.
Yeah, that's right.
Nebraska, Oklahoma, Colorado.
You had Colorado, you had Texas, and USC in succession. And Slim, they interviewed Greg, and they asked him, said, well, Greg, what do you think? You got Colorado, Texas, and USC in a row. And Greg, you said, I'm going to put 200 apiece on every one of them.
Right.
But now there's an interesting story about what inspired you to make that prediction. Share that with our audience.
Yeah. When I was in high school, I used to work as a custodian at the at the Hotel America downtown from 11 to 7. So we cleaned all the common areas in the main floors. So the last thing we did in the morning was buff the floor. So this guy taught me how to buff the floor. I got so good at it that I could almost be asleep and buff the floor. When it bumped the door, bumped the wall, I'd go back the other way to bump it, and I'd take a step up. So one day I heard this noise close to my head, and like air was going past me, like something was missing me. When I opened my eyes, there was a guy shadow boxing me and punching at me. And I jumped. I said, hey, man, what's wrong? What's up? What's wrong? He said, don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am? I said, I don't know who you are. But if you hit me, it's going to be on. It was Muhammad Ali. And he was there to fight, we talked about it.
Ernie Terrell. What's my name? What's my name?
So afterwards, my friend, my classmates say, you know who that was? They told me it was Muhammad Ali. They told me he was a heavyweight champion of the world. He was coming out of defending his championship in the Astrodome against Ernie Terrell. So the next day I went to work. I had 2 tickets to the fight. He left me 2 tickets. So now I'm an Ali fan. I went and watched that fight. Now I'm everything. I knew everything. I read everything about Ali. And one of the things Ali did was he predicted the rounds he was going to knock people out in.
Well, a lot of time I make predictions of what I'm going to do before the fight. That makes me nervous because I've gotten so good at it until people really look for me to do it.
He did.
I say, so what can I do in football? Oh, I can predict how many yards I'm going to get. So the week before SC, they put a mic in front of me, and I'm like Ali. I'm talking. I done got diarrhea in the mouth. He said, well, how many yards you think? I said, probably about 200. And then I thought about it, but it was too late. I said it. So I went back to my room and said, man, I don't know what I did, but I went and got 214.
You did, man. You did. I never.
I got my 2 yards on a roll. I had a great line, and we just had a great concept. We talked, I do a show, and I cover the Browns, and the Browns got a great running back in Nick Chubb.
All right.
And it frustrates me that they got a guy that good, and they really don't take advantage of it. They jump off him too fast. He get 3 yards, they figure to pick the team to stop them, and they don't never go back to him. And I told him, I use an example, that when we were in Oklahoma, we ran the wishbone. The wishbone is not a passing offense; it's a running offense.
No question.
They know we're gonna run it, and we gonna run it. And the only way you're gonna stop it is you gonna stop us, not because we gonna stop. And so we were very creative, and we anticipated how you could stop Oklahoma's wishbone. And once you in certain defensive positions to stop it, we already knew what a weak spot was. So it was like you couldn't stop it. I mean, we averaged like 500 yards a game. So that I'm proof that saying you can stop it and stop is two different things. So I get frustrated when the Browns jump off of that so fast with Nick Chubb.
You know, Greg, speaking of how potent the offense used to be for Oklahoma, you looking at Oklahoma now, they sitting at 5-5. I mean, in your opinion, Greg, do you believe Brent Venables is the guy to take Oklahoma to Africa? Now, our views would know it as Africa, but in layman's terms, the SEC.
Hey, Greg, in 3 years, they going to the SEC. Okay, now they bad right now. They bad right now. Okay.
Do you believe Brent Venables is the guy?
They bad right now, and that's a shame.
Right now, I have some doubt. I would say that traditionally with the Oklahoma, they're showing a tremendous amount of patience with him so far.
Okay.
I was disappointed because I saw the opponents that I played against, and I got the opportunity to watch them play K-State, and they didn't look like the team I was used to. That's why. No. So they got a ways to go. When you got a new coach, I always say this: it's two kinds of chemistry. You know, as a running back, running the wishbone, the chemistry is where's the fullback, where's the quarterback, where's the blocking back, where's the pitching guy. You have to be synchronized, and you got to be in the right place at the exact right place at the right time and full speed. And we were. And that's why it was so hard to stop us. So that takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of time. I'm going to say sometimes coaches have a more difficult time conveying that to the team, getting the team to play on that next level. And maybe that's the struggle. But if he doesn't get any better and he's going to the SEC, that's a problem.
Greg, and this is our third. So we're in our third season with HomeSpun Sports, and when it was first discussed that OU was considering going to the SEC, Slim and I said it in unison. On location alone, when you look at geographically where the state of Oklahoma is. Okay, it ain't no secret. Hey, if Barry Switzer was smart enough to understand in the 70s that I got to access all this good black talent in Texas, that the University of Texas won't recruit because of prejudices. And he capitalized on that, made his name on that. Well, the SEC is a different dynamic right now, Greg. The SEC integration changed Africa. It changed the SEC. And Oklahoma geographically alone is going to struggle. Greg, their saving grace right now is Texas A&M ain't worth a damn.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And Texas is in office.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, hey, Greg, right quick, gotta ask you this, man. Gotta ask you this, because you know you come out of Oklahoma, you're drafted by the Cleveland Browns. And Greg, I know you're playing weight, what, 190, 195? Your peak playing weight?
I tell people, I was drafted by the Browns. I went to Cleveland on media day to be introduced. All the draft pick was introduced to the Browns fans. In that, Coach, in that they want to find out what they got, so that you got to run the 40-yard dash, and you got to go through the whole little deal again for them to make sure they got what they drafted. And one of the things was height and your weight. So I was listed at 177, and so 177. So when I came here, they couldn't wait to get me on the scale. So they make it strip down. I stripped down. I put a 5-pound weight around me, my waist, and hit it with a towel. Got on the scale. I weighed 177. They say he really is 177. So I spent my whole career. I played 177 my rookie year. Yeah, 177.
And Greg, you had how many 1,000-yard seasons with the Browns?
3. But I grew up. I'm still. Hey, listen, I'm still growing. Let me finish the story. I can't. At 177, I felt like, man, if I could just get to 195, it just sounds like, like I'm big enough to play. So I got to 195. I got to 195, and now I'm trying to get back to 195. I'm just coming from a different direction.
but Q, serious business. You broke in as a rookie at the Browns weighing 177 pounds with a 5-pound weight plate tied around
you. Yeah.
Oh, but Slim, I declare he could tote it though, bro. This dude could tote that rock. I ain't lying, man.
Priuitt. Come on now.
Greg, man, and you did it with such a swagger, such an electrifying swagger, man.
I came up playing football in the streets. Our football field was maybe 15 feet, 20 feet wide. First time I saw a real football field, my first comment was like, damn, we get to run all the way over there and not be out of bounds. I said, oh, this is way too much room.
So Greg, the Browns, they sitting there 3-6. They ain't mathematically eliminated yet, but what's your take on the Browns, man? Right quick.
Well, I believe that the Browns were destined not to have the season they thought they would when Watson got in trouble. When Watson was suspended for 11 games, Jacoby Brissett is not the guy that's going to fill in and get us where we want to get. We were hoping,
no question,
realistically, for 12 games, if we could win 6 of the games, then we had a realistic chance when Watson came back to get into the playoff. Now I hope now with 3-6, and we got 2 more games before Watson gets back. The 2 games we got left is Buffalo and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The chance they have would be Tampa Bay, simply because Tampa Bay is in Cleveland. They come here. We're not going to beat Buffalo in Buffalo. But I'll say, if there's a little light at the end of the tunnel, it would be that if Watson plays the way he's been advertised, he changes our whole dynamics on offense.
Ain't no question.
Brissett was zero threat running the football from that position. So now you got a defense that don't have to worry about that part of the game, and their 11 guy is concentrated on your 10 guy. Now when Watson comes back, you got a spine, so now you got to take a guy out of the number. So now it's a different.
Ain't no question. Ain't no question.
Yeah,
so now, Greg,
went out, but there'll be a lot different, a lot better team. Nobody, when Watson come in, would have played Cleveland Browns with that quarterback at the quarterback position.
So Greg, you said you involved. You got a show, a pregame show. Yeah. What's the name of the show?
Monday Morning Running Back. And so I do a recap of the game played the day before. Okay.
You have a co-host, or you do this all by yourself?
Well, it's a segment of Channel 8. It's just a segment. Well, the normal people that's on, come on, they just stay there, and then I go do my section. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Monday morning running back.
Yep.
Listen, man, Greg, thank you, my brother.
Hey man, I enjoyed the conversation earlier today. You brought back some names, man. And I'm telling you, boy, I enjoyed that.
Well, listen, man, we gonna be following the Browns close, and we sure enough we all Okies,
Yeah,
so
for
I
real.
know we're gonna be,
Yeah.
and but Greg, man, thanks so much, man.
Thanks for being on our show,
Hey,
Coach.
anytime, man, anytime. You know my brother is in Oklahoma, my youngest brother, Garland.
Come on, man, Garland pledged me. Garland pledged me.
No, that's right.
Garland pledged me. Yeah.
I talked to him today. I talked to him today. He always been crazy. The day I found out ain't nothing changed.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Greg, we love you, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Thank you.
All right. See you later.
Take care, man. Yeah. Wow.
Do it, Priuitt.
Ooh, partner, and Cuddy. Ooh, Lord. I'm telling you, partner. Let me tell you something, partner. He made them clap to this. I'm telling you, that brother, man. Ooh, he wasn't nothing but the truth. Slim. A lot of things going on, man, in HBCU football. Some big games. I know you're ready to make your selections. We're ready to hear from you. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go, Coach.
Let's do this thing, man. Let's do it.
Texas Southern and Clarence McKinney. They 5-5, Coach, and they on the road at Alabama A&M, who's 3-7. Coach, I mean, it's like Phil Collins. You gotta feel it in the air. This is Clarence McKinney's chance to get a winning record. Finally, after 12 years, Coach.
Yeah. And you know, the record books say 12 years. Big shout out to Johnny Cole, but that TSU went on probation for what went on in the 2010 season. And then if you went technically, you got to go back to the Bill Thomas era of the 90s before TSU had a winning season. But it looks like that Clarence McKinney gonna deliver and bring a winning season to 3,100 Cleburne, and they show enough much deserving. I think they'll win. Hell, Slim, hey, Alabama A&M can't beat Mississippi Valley. So hey, yeah.
Anyway, Coach. Jackson State, they 10-0. Mm-hmm. And they had Alcorn, who's 5-5. Coach, you got to feel like this is a trap game. I mean, Fred McNair. Yeah, that's right. I said this. Fred McNair. He takes his Braves. They're on a 2-game winning streak. It's at the reservation. The Braves need this game to have a winning season. Coach Prime wants this game to have a perfect season and to take to the Celebration Bowl. I think he's going to get his wish, Coach. Jackson State is going to go 11-0.
I think they will too, Slim. I look for them to go 11-0. It's a bad Alcorn team. Yeah. And, you know, Slim, Dion, he has made his position clear, even though he's number 5 in the FCS. He ain't interested in no tournament. He's 11-0, Slim. Let me ask you something. I want your honest opinion. Is Jackson State that good, or is the SWAC that bad?
Coach, let me say this. It's Jackson State's a little bit that good, and the SWAC is a lot of bit that bad.
Slim, I think, and I'm mad props. I get it. Dion, go to the Celebration Bowl. In the first place, money talk, and you know what walks. Last year, South Carolina State,
they got $1 million, Coach. Over $1 million.
Over $1 million, exactly. Take the money. Second thing, Slim, is Dion ain't stupid. Deion Sanders know what good football look like. Mildred Campbell took him to task, 22-14. Okay, yeah. Campbell,
Coach.
and Slim. Campbell 4-6 as we speak. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Dion can't beat the number 4, 3, 2, or 1 team ahead of him in the FCS. So go to the Celebration Bowl, Prime, get your redemption, cause and he deserves a national championship. Yeah. Go win that national championship. I'm like Doug. Doug said it on our show. He ain't got nothing to prove by going to that tournament. Go make that money. And finish with a perfect season. No question.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah. So we got Jackson State. Cool.
We'll go back to Jackson, yeah.
But Coach, congratulations are in order. Big shout out to Benedict College and Chennisberry. That's right, Coach. They beat Tuskegee 58-21 to win their very first SIAC championship.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Secondly, Fayetteville State, who they beat Chowan University to win the CIAA championship crown, 31-28.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Coach, they are 3 HBCUs that made the Division II bracket. Virginia Union will take on Wingate. Delta State takes on Fayetteville State. And you know what? It pays to be perfect. As Benedict College got that #1 seed, they got the nod, and they will await the winner of Virginia Union and Wingate. It's at Charlie Johnson Stadium, Coach. I got Benedict College, whoever wins. Anyway,
man, hey man, you got to feel good about Chennis's chances. He got him at the Charlie right there. Oh, hey, go right up 2 notch. Make that right on Chestnut.
Get some of that chicken.
And right in that block, partner, it's gonna be popping on November the 26th, and we all pulling and praying for Chennis. Slim, that it has not been but one HBCU to win a NCAA championship, and you got to go all the way back to Rudy Hubbard in 1978. No question.
Damn, you Rattlers, man. They beat UMass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
man. Pioneer Bowl, Coach. Now, it's been 22 years, Coach, since an HBCU has won a PWI conference crown. In 1998 and 1999, the Cole brothers, head football coach L.C. Cole, won the Ohio Valley Conference. But this season in Boiling Springs, North Carolina, Sam Washington's and his North Carolina A&T Aggies, winners of 7 in a row, by the way, go up against no doubt a hostile environment in Everest W. Spangler Stadium.
Yeah. Them boys from Gardner-Webb, Slim. Them boys from Gardner-Webb. And Slim, Gardner-Webb now sitting there at 5-5. But Slim, Gardner-Webb won 4 in a row. And it's at home. And I'm telling you, man, that's going to be, that's going to be a throwdown. Slim, Sam Washington got that boy Basham Tudum.
Basso Tudum, Coach.
Yeah, now he can run that rock, Slim. He got 1,200 and some yards and done scored 12 touchdowns.
5'11", 200 pounds, 1,255 yards, Coach.
And he can run that rock, and they got to control that football and keep that boy Fisher.
Bailey Fisher.
Yes, Lord. He ain't Slim, that boy Bailey Fisher. Slim.
They averaging 444 yards every game, Coach, on total offense.
A total offense. Gardner-Webb got a whip. Slim, who wins that game?
Man, Gardner-Webb, Coach.
All right, I'm gonna go with Sam. I'm gonna go with Sam going up in on the road. North Carolina A&T got a rich tradition of football, Slim, and they hot now. They won 7. Hey, Slim, North Carolina A&T has won 7 in a row. Go get them, Sam. Come on, Aggies. Come on, Aggies.
Yeah.
Come on, Aggies.
Put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby. You know you look good to me.
In the NFL, Coach.
Yeah, man.
The NFC East and the AFC East. The Bills are 6-3, Coach. They play Cleveland, who's 3-6. And we just got off the phone with Greg Priuitt. What would he would say the Browns, but what would you say?
Well, I ain't gonna rule out the Browns because this we know. People lie, numbers don't. Josh Allen, Slim, done throwed 6 picks in the last 3 games. Okay, he has demonstrated a propensity to turn the football over, and I'm not gonna rule Cleveland out. In fact, I tell you what, you take the Bills, I'll take Cleveland. Okay. All
right. Dallas at Miami.
Minnesota.
At Minnesota. Excuse me, Coach. Minnesota. Dallas 6-3. Minnesota is 8-1.
Yep.
Who'd you take?
I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
I got Minnesota.
Slim. The Dallas Cowboys cannot stop the run. That's how Green Bay beat them last week.
Yep.
Lined up and knocked them off the football. Now,
and Green that's exactly Bay, how Minnesota
hold up. If a 3-win Green Bay team can line up and knock Dallas off the ball, what in the hell you think an 8-win Minnesota team gonna do at home to Dallas? Vikings.
Gonna run all over them. They gonna run all over them, bro.
Vikings.
All right. Now, in the NFC East, Coach, arguably these 2 divisions are the toughest divisions in NFL. Philly, they are 8-1, and they play the Colts. who's 4-5-1.
Yeah.
I know we avid Jalen Hurts fans, but just for the record.
Well, Philly 8-1. They got Indy, a W. Green Bay, probably a W. Tennessee, probably a W. The Giants, probably a W. The Bears, probably a W. Dallas. I like Philly to win 13 to 14 games. The AFC, both divisions, AFC East, NFC East, two most competitive divisions in the NFL. Slim, both of those divisions, every team is 8 teams, and all 8 of them have at least 500 records. The Commanders are 5-5.
Yeah.
Everybody else got a winning record. Mm-hmm. So both of them 2 divisions, Slim, gonna be dog fights right down to the wire. Right down to the wire.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No question.
So, right, Coach, any FBS? Now I saw your Facebook post. You posted on about this. Arguably, the 2 worst teams in college football right now are the Texas A&M Aggies and the Oklahoma Sooners. Biggest disappointments. I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, Slim, here's the thing. Both of them were preseason top 10 teams, okay? And this we know that Texas A&M will not go to a bowl. They've lost 6 in a row, okay? They're sitting there at 3-7, okay?
Yep.
They're gonna lose. LSU comes to Cowfield. That'll be another ass whipping. So the Aggies gonna probably round out this thing going 3-9. Okay. University of Oklahoma, they're sitting there at 5-5. They got Bedlam this week. They'll probably lose that game. Then they go on the road to Lubbock and play Texas Tech, and that could be a toss-up. So
who's in the worst shape, in your opinion, Coach?
University of Oklahoma. And it's not even a question, Mildred.
Okay.
And here's why. Location. Okay? It's bad enough that as we speak, you can't beat West Virginia on the road, nor Baylor.
Or Baylor at home.
That's bad enough. But what they better concern themselves about is not only are we bad now, where are we going? Slim, geographically, and I posted this on Facebook, if you stood out in the middle of I-35 in front of the University of Oklahoma, Interstate 35 runs right through Norman. If you went south on I-35 and went through Dallas, get on Interstate 45 and go all the way to Houston and hang a left and keep driving till you get all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. Newsflash, you be going through the heart of Africa. Okay? Okay? SEC country. All right? Okay? That's where you're going. And we talked about it. We had Greg on the show. Listen, those glory days of Oklahoma getting the great black athlete that laid the foundation for OU football, them days are over because of the dynamic of the SEC and integration.
Yep.
It's taking it to another level, Slim. And it's geographically alone. It's a long way, partner, from Norman to the heart of SEC country, okay? And understand this. We said it before, Slim. Oklahoma ain't going to the SEC to be no dadgum Kentucky or South Carolina or
Vanderbilt
or the Arkansas Razorbacks.
No, I'm trying to beat LSU. I'm trying to beat Alabama. I'm trying to beat Florida.
Thank you. And you know, and I won't put Greg on the spot, and we talked about it, but one thing I see already, whether or not you think Brent Venables is the guy or not, I tell you one thing he's showing the hell better hurry up and do. You ain't near about gonna think you're gonna have some success recruiting in the heart of the SEC geographically with just 3 black assistants on your staff. That ain't gonna happen.
No.
That ain't gonna happen. Okay.
Nope.
It ain't gonna happen.
No,
Hey,
Coach.
listen here. Lane Kiffin in Oxford, Mississippi with 5. Okay? Billy Napier in Gainesville, Florida with 6.
Hold on, Coach. Sam Pittman in Arkansas. How much what he got, like 6, 7?
I don't know what he got, but I know one damn thing. I guarantee he got more than 3. But anyway, I digress. But I'm just telling you, that's going to be very, very interesting to see. No question there. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, it was a pleasure being in the studio with you.
Always, bro. Always, man.
Great to have Greg Priuitt on the show. Please tell Mama I love her, all right?
I will. Thanks, Q. We appreciate it, Greg. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Yeah, take care. And finally, one of the true gentlemen, one of the true professionals, and a first-class guy, hung up his cap and whistle at the end of this 2022 season. Rich Freeman, my good and dear friend, took the Morehouse job in 2007 and ran that program with class and dignity and professionalism. In fact, in 2010, the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College were in the Division II playoffs. Now, I will tell you something. I worked in Morehouse College. I was an assistant there with Doug Williams. And you get Morehouse College to the Division II playoffs, friend, you can coach. I tip my hat to you, Rich Freeman, on a job well done. And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock. Straight up and down.
Well, that's how we see it, and that's how it is. Thank God.
Thank God.
We get to do this again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into this week's episode of HomeSpun Sports. Sports talk with a twist of down home wisdom. Greg Priuitt, thank you so much for being a part of our show. We appreciate you so much, man. We look forward to a healthy, long relationship with you in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure not only to check this episode out on YouTube, but on iHeartRadio, on Spotify. Matter of fact, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, that's where you can find HomeSpun Sports, baby. Make sure you check out our content. We want to get it to you first. Hit the likes, hit the comment,
hit that subscribe
and
button.
stay subscribed, y'all.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, man.
Let's get up out of here, man.
Hey, man, you ain't saying nothing but a word. Appreciate you, Q. What? See?